Hello everyone out there on YouTube, this is Hawk Flame, and as you can see, my channel's gone through a bit of a restructuring so far. It's a little bit less, gonna be a little less brony themed, more of geek culture and news perspective here. As you can see, I'm a big Superman fan. There's gonna be also a lot of things with comics and science fiction and movies and so forth, and occasionally some brony material now and again, but it's not gonna be the dominant theme here. But as you can see, and based on the title, you can probably guess this, I'm a Superman fan. I have not collected the character in the comics consistently throughout the past few decades, but I've always enjoyed that character. Pretty much put it in my top three superhero characters, along with Batman and Spider-Man. And I've been pretty much in love with the character since I was about 5 or 6 years old. And as you can probably guess, I have already seen Batman vs Superman, as well as probably most of you guys out there too. And there's been a lot of discussion about the character and about the movie, and really it's less so much about the movie as far as my focus here on the video, and so much more about the character and the way it's being perceived right now in the general public. Now, with that in mind, um, I did see the movie. Not the biggest fan of it, to be honest. It's not. I didn't think it was well structured. I have some major problems with the way the story was told. Lex Luthor looks like an idiot. But there are some really cool moments in it, particularly Batman and Wonder Woman, and a lot of the fight scenes were good. I think that Henry Cavill and the other actors did pretty well with what they were given. But altogether, I was kind of disappointed in the film. But that's not really the focus of what I want to get to today. And what I really want to talk about is the way Superman has been perceived in the media, and so the kind of prevailing take on him right now, which I'm a little bothered by. Now, I have always been something of someone who's really appreciated kind of the pure Superman character. That by that I mean sort of the noble Christopher Reeve, the one that's kind of perceived as the big Boy Scout, and a lot of people kind of think it's a little outdated, and in some ways it kind of is, but I feel like that's kind of what's missing in a lot of modern media today, as far as portrayals of Superman goes. It's everything is so much. It kind of what really brings us to the forefront is the Batman vs Superman, and a lot of the arguments made for people defending that film about the character, and it's like there's basically saying like, oh, this is not your father's Superman. This is not the Christopher Reeve Boy Scout. This is the world weary Superman. It's a bit more badass, and I don't know. I kind of have a problem with that. Now, I don't have a problem with a darker, more world weary Superman as he's being portrayed. I love the John Byrne run that definitely had a lot of elements of that when he did Man of Steel, the comic book series, and I also really liked the similarly titled Man of Steel by Zack Snyder, the first film in this, because I thought that was a really different and refreshing take on the character. And I was hoping for that film was for it to be building to something, building to sort of sort of a more realistic, but a more realistic take on Superman, but at the same time, it's kind of clearly the character as we've always seen him. And with that, we never really got that in Batman vs Superman. It was kind of straight to from the to figuring out how to be Superman at first, and there was kind of building up the pieces of the character there in Man of Steel, and then it never really paid off. I never really saw Superman in his in all his colors. No pun intended, because that's a very colorless film. And that's kind of what I wanted to see was hoping to see from the Man of Steel sequel, Batman vs Superman. And I don't know. It's like it was not just that. Because there's this prevailing idea that Superman needs to be badass, and the whole Boy Scout good guy, sort of 100% pure, always knows how to do the right thing is kind of outdated. And I don't think that's the case. I really don't. I think you could still do that Superman really well, taken really seriously, and just and it could be done in a very entertaining way. I mean, right now I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I'm actually a big fan of the Supergirl series, one on CBS right now. I think that's really people delight it for being cheesy and kind of the writing's kind of corny, and yeah, maybe that sometimes that's true, but the take of the characters, it's like it's so joyful, and I smile every time I watch the show because of that. And it's such a pure. It feels like in some ways it's a pure interpretation of Superman than what we're getting on screen right now in the film. And so I'm not a, and so because of that, it's I really like that kind of. I really like that take on the on Supergirl and the whole mythology with Superman that they're doing in that show right now. And to me, that's a lot of fun, and that's kind of what I'm missing from a lot of these other darker iterations of the character, or at least of the Superman and sort of the world of Krypton, and then and the entire L family, Supergirl included. Now, I don't know because yeah, I've talked to some of my friends about this, and some of them do agree that that there needs to be room for sort of a lighter take on the character, and it can't just be this dark doom and gloom perspective on Superman the whole time, because I think that Superman is really it's not it's very limiting to the character, and you gotta tell me that let's say a Fleischer Superman or Christopher Reeve Superman somehow those weren't fly today, those wouldn't work. I don't know. People they most people talk about them. They're still pretty entertained by those, and I think it can still work today too. I mean, Lois and Clark wasn't really that long ago. I mean, it was the '90s. It was 20 years ago, but it wasn't. It was not. The grand scheme of things. That's not a particularly long time ago. And I think that still worked on television there. That was a very lighthearted tone. In fact, I think that the current Supergirl series is very much like that in spirit. So it's kind of a successor to that series in many ways, not just the fact that Dean Cain both of them. And I think that we could really do a lighter, more pure to the original character, that is, as in sort of the classic interpretation of the character version of Superman in the world today. I mean, take a look at, I know people don't always like to make comparisons with Marvel, but look at what Marvel's doing with Captain America and Captain America not just in Civil War, but also in Winter Soldier and even the first film. That in Avengers, and that character is kind of a very pure. He's very much a Boy Scout in today's world. He is, can maybe it works that way because he's technically a relic of the 1940s, but you can still craft an interesting character about someone who has those kinds of values, that kind of approach to life, and I think that you could do that as long as you keep Superman. You could balance the realism and sort of the idealized portrayal of Superman by putting that character into a more realistic situation, but having him keep those ideals. And I think there's definitely different ways that you could go about this while still keeping Superman much more lighter and much more sort of like a big blue Boy Scout, as they like to say. And anyway, those are some of my thoughts on the matter. Just let me know if you have any other comments, or you want to like and subscribe. If you want more videos like this, just let me know. Like and subscribe as always. And thank you.